There are many quests in this game where objectives are clear, such as stealing a letter from Harlow and freeing the beast, or going to the Dragonfight arena held by poachers and freeing the dragon from there. And then there are quests where reason isn't stated at the beginning, but we do get to know what it was about. For example, Girl from Ouagadougou. In the beginning, we don't exactly know why we're going to meet Natty, but by the end of it, we get to know more about Natty as a character and her intentions. And then there are quests where we don't exactly know why we're doing it, and by the end of it, we still don't know why we did it.
Okay, what the fuck did I just do?
There are 3 quests here in particular that I want to talk about, where it felt like they were trying to build up to something good, but they just forgot to deliver the climax. Or instead, they delivered a twist, and we just didn't notice the real depth of it.
Okay, that went dark real quick.
What am I talking about? The quests that I want to talk about, they each lead to another very swiftly. These quests show us the story from Isadora's perspective, how she honed her skills, how she also left some trails for someone to follow. Someone blessed with the power of ancient magic, but light, my confused little YouTuber with no sense of scripting, you may say. We are here for the detail you talked about, not this nonsense. No, the accent. Hold your horses, I'm getting to it. To know what exactly happened, you need to have full context. I'm assuming you have played through the game because I'll be delving into minor, but nonetheless spoilers, so you've been warned. So the first quest happens right after we witness the loud argument between Sebastian and his uncle during our visit to the Feldcroft. Sebastian and us go and visit the place where Anne got cursed. According to Sebastian, the day Anne got cursed, there was a huge fire at that place. Somebody had intentionally tried to burn it. But after investigating what seemed to be a house, we find a portrait sitting outside of the house. A burned portrait. But after going into the cellar of that house, we start to find Isadora's journal pages, telling us about her journey of honing her magical powers. But in that cellar, we also find a window through which we can travel straight to the Undercroft. And as we teleport to the Undercroft, a triptych appears out of an empty wall. In that triptych, we see that 2 out of 3 slots are still blank, and a diagram of what seems to be a rune symbol. And the only painted canvas that was already there was our clue for the next quest. We had to find a place which had exact same view as shown in that canvas. Luckily, Sebastian finds the place, and we go investigating what was an abandoned mine. Same as Isadora's house, the place was crawling with Ranrock's loyalists. What could they be searching for? I have a theory and we'll talk about it in comments. But for now, in that mine we find those same rune symbols. Apparently those rune symbols can be activated only with the use of ancient magic. Hidden deep within the cave, we find a place where Isadora apparently practiced her magical skills. And in what I would call a laboratory of magic, we discover the second canvas piece which would go into that triptych. Same story again, Sebastian knows the place, it's called Marun Weem, only difference this time, we're not going into a mine, we're going into a cavern. But you know what also is similar? You guys not liking and subscribing. It's a new channel, I need you guys, okay? A like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. Help me reach 1,000 subs. Back to the video. Somewhere deep within the cavern, we find another magical laboratory set up by Isadora. But more importantly, we find the last piece of triptych. Again, after teleporting to Undercroft and placing the last canvas, a pensive appears, showing us the story of Isadora, story from her perspective. But then, what was the reason for finding all the canvas pieces of triptych? Was that triptych itself a lock? And keys to that lock were the missing canvas pieces which Isadora had intentionally left hidden for certain someone with power of ancient magic to find, so that she could show them her side in all of this, guide them, and teach them ways to use the magic she felt shouldn't be forbidden. Maybe yes, the triptych is the lock, but it is way more important than you think, because the view we see in the last and the biggest piece of canvas is the view outside of Isadora's house, the same place we got our first clues for the treasure hunt we went with Sebastian. The treasure hunt set up by Isadora. She was meant to show us her side and presumably teach us ways to use ancient magic. These quests are like trials set up for us by Isadora. similar to the trial set up by other keepers to test us. After each trial, we see memories left by the keepers, telling us the story from their point of view. Same is true in Isadora's case as well, because we do see her memory as well. But the biggest difference is, keepers were still there to teach us, although we didn't see them teach us anything. They were still there, somehow by magically preserving their consciousness, no pun intended, in their own portraits. But that isn't the case for Isadora. Or is it? And this is where, my friends, the detail you missed I talked about comes in. The last and the biggest piece of canvas wasn't just another normal painting. That's where the costly but alive version of Isadora was supposed to come and talk to us. But to be able to come to that canvas piece, the main enchanted canvas on which the enchantment was performed should be undamaged. We saw this when we go to Rookwood Castle, where we find the main enchanted canvas of Charles Rookwood. But here's the detail you missed. In the first quest among the three we just talked about, the place where Anne got cursed, the Isadora's house, outside of it was a damaged canvas. Someone had intentionally tried to burn it. And that was the original enchanted canvas of Isadora. That's why Isadora couldn't show up in the canvas placed in those triptychs. The whole point behind these quests wasn't even theirs since the beginning. And this is why I said, instead of a huge climax at the end, we were served with a twist which barely anyone noticed the real depth of. I guess the only good thing we got out of this quest was Sebastian finding out that ancient magic can cure his sister's curse. And unfortunately, to which we didn't get anything afterwards. I know it sucks. That's just bad writing. But don't worry, I'm not gonna leave you guys with bad taste in your mouth at the end of this video, because I'm gonna leave you with a question, which not only you, but all of us should be asking. It's really that obvious, but we just simply didn't notice it. Again, the Undercroft was used as central place for all these quests, and Isadora clearly had access to it. But with our conversations with Sebastian, we know that Undercroft is one of the well-kept secrets of Gaunt family, and no one can just stumble upon it. So how exactly Isadora knew about the Undercroft? Did she know someone from the Gaunt family in her time? Or she just simply stumbled upon it? Or plot twist, did she create it? That would be mind-bogglingly absurd. Anyway, since we're on the topic of the Gaunts, watch this video to see how a blessing can turn into a curse, or if Sebastian's actions against his uncle were justifiable. Spoiler warning there, or my most recent video about Isadora herself. That's it for now. See you in another one.
She took away the pain, 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 she took away the pain.